So what is recruitment? Recruitment is to estimate the available vacancies in the organization and to make arrangements for their selection and appointment. So here we need to locate and identify the sources of manpower and give publicity through newspaper or to any other source. People will get attracted and apply for that. So we encourage people to apply for the jobs in the organization. All this is what is called recruitment. So here in this activity of recruitment, function of recruitment, a pool of eligible and interested candidates are created for the selection of most suitable candidates. Some of the definitions of recruitment, one is given by Edwin Flippo. So according to Edwin Flippo, recruitment is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. So here you should remember one thing, recruitment doesn't mean selection. Recruitment is this initial process. So it is the initial process of searching for prospective employees and encouraging them or stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. That is what is recruitment. So usually we say that recruitment means including selection, everything. But recruitment confines to only this. We locate, identify the sources, that is searching for prospective employees. Searching for prospective employees means locating and identifying the manpower resources and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization by giving publicity to the jobs and the organization. This is what recruitment is. Need for recruitment. We know that it's very clear that organization doesn't mean that a group of people, right? So why we need this recruitment in the organization? Without this recruitment, no, the vacancies lie vacancies only. We need to fill the vacancies. We need to match the requirements of the jobs and the people with knowledge. So vacancies due to promotions, transfers, retirement, termination, permanent disability, death and labor turnover. If it is a new organization, all this won't arise. Directly we give publicity, we advertise one or the other way, or we consult somebody else, or we go to campuses, organizations visits campus and recruit the people, recruit and select the people. If it's already existing organization, vacancies arise due to these promotions from lower position to higher position. So lower position jobs will become vacant. When an employee is transferred from one place to other place, this previous place becomes vacant. When people retire, those positions will become vacant. When employees are terminated, removed from the job, those positions will be vacant. And permanent disability, where an employee no longer can work in the organization because of accidents, because of this permanent disability, such positions will become vacant. When employees die, or labor turnover here is where employees leave the organization. In all these cases, vacancies arise in the organization. So you need to fill all this. So recruitment is necessary. Then creation of new vacancies due to growth, expansion, and diversification of business activities of an enterprise. So here also recruitment is needed when a business is grown, when it is expanded. So you need to take up the activities on large scale which requires more positions, more labor, more workforce. So vacancies arise whenever business grows and whenever business is expanded. Whenever business is diversified. So in all these situations, vacancies arise, vacancies are created. So you need recruitment to fill all those things. So new vacancies are also possible due to job specification. When any change is brought into the organization through technology, through process, new jobs are created. New specializations are introduced, new jobs will be created. So in all these cases, vacancies will arise. So you need to fill all those positions. So recruitment is needed. These are the sources of recruitment. Where do you get manpower? Which are the recruitment sources? School placement. So you directly go to the institutions and recruit people. Identify. Then employee referrals. Already existing employees refer somebody, the known people. Usually the employees working with us will refer their known people, their relatives, friends, like that. So this plays a very important role in the present day recruitment system. Then voluntary applications. So usually after completing their degrees, the job seekers will visit the organization and place an application with the organization. So voluntary applications there. Advertisements. So company will advertise one or the other way. That is another one. And employment agencies. This is consulting companies. So they recruit people for the organizations, outsourcing companies, or HR consulting companies. These are. And internal searches. So internal searches in the sense within the organization. Say for example, all the time you don't need to take the people from outside for all positions. Sometimes internally, people who are working at lower level will be promoted to higher levels based on their abilities and knowledge and their experience also. And people will be shifted to some other jobs as they possess that knowledge. So this internal searches within the organization, they take employees for new jobs, specified jobs, and higher jobs among the existing employees of the organization. These are the recruitment sources. So internal source of recruitment, promotions, transfers, internal notifications, then former employees. As I told you that internal sources of recruitment within the organization by promoting an employee from lower position to higher position, by transferring from one branch to another branch or from one activity to another activity, one job to another job, like that. Internal notifications, advertisement. So internally they advertise. They send the circular to all departments for positions. They can apply within the organization. And former employees. So those who have left the organization, who worked for the organization for a long time, and left the organization because of some reasons. So they also can be taken. These are all internal sources of recruitment. External sources of recruitment, campus recruitment interview. That's happening on large scale these days. Even recently we had campus placements, right? So through interviews, organizations visits the institutions, universities, colleges, or any other such kind of educational institutions. They recruit the people through interview. Press advertisement. So here they advertise in the newspapers or employment exchanges or any other such kind of magazines which publishes this job related information. So they get the applications through these advertisements and recruit them. That's sectional source. And again, it is through management consultants and private employment exchanges. So management consultants in the sense here HR consulting companies. Their job is only to recruit the people for other companies. And private employment exchange. Some private companies or private people are running these employment exchanges. Deputation of personnel. This is also another external source of recruitment. Deputation of personnel in the sense, those who are working in some other business or some other area, they will be deputed. Say for example, now we are working for the college. So we will be deputed to some administrative jobs in some other departments, related department. Like that, deputation basis. So management training schemes. So management training schemes here, it's not actually job. They take as graduate trainees like that. It's like apprenticeship. For 2 years like that, they'll take internship. What we say that when organizations take the graduates on the basis of internship for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, depending upon. So after completing that internship or management training, if they are satisfied with their performance, they confirm their jobs. They take them as regular employees. This is another external source of the. Usually L&T, these people will appoint not directly once for all as an employee. They take management trainees for a period of 2 years. If they successfully complete that 2 year period and their performance is appreciable, then they will be taken as a permanent employee. So this is one of the this will be done in specialized jobs, not in all cases, specialized jobs. And walk-ins, write-ins, and talk-ins. So walk-ins, they just advertise, give the time, and anybody can walk without any application on the spot. Spot entries. So walk-ins, write-ins. So you can write and send that to them. You don't need to go to that spot and appear before them. So you can write and post it or mail it. That's one. Talk-ins over phone. So you can talk to them. They interview over phone. They connect you to the client who needs your services. So if you pass all those things, you will be taken into. So these are all external sources of recruitment. So this is one phase of your staffing, recruitment. Next comes selection. This is next step in the staffing. So a series of steps from initial applicant screening to final hiring of the new employee. So selection is a series of steps from initial applicant screening to final hiring of the new employee selection. When they are advertised for jobs, so let us assume that there are some 50 jobs, 50 positions. So the organization may receive so many applications, or so many will appear for walk-ins. So screening tests will be conducted. Some measures are there. Even when they come to the organization for placements, first they give a demo, then they give an aptitude test. It's a screening test. Whoever pass through that aptitude, then they will be given some group discussion. That is also a screening test where they assess several skills in the incumbent employees, prospective job seekers. So whoever gets through that will be put in some other test like that. 4 or 5 sequence of series of steps from initial applicant screening to final hiring of the new employees for selection. So this process, this involves so many steps. So the selection process involves step 1, completing application materials. First you should apply. They screen all applications. They see that whether the candidate is eligible, plus that educational qualifications, and what are their interests, what are their knowledge levels. All those things will be seen in that. So they screen out. Second step is conducting an interview. After screening at application level, whoever qualified for that will be conducted an interview. Then step 3, completing any necessary tests. It all depends upon not that all this aptitude, group discussion, HR round, any other such kind of psychological tests. All those things will be conducted for all jobs. It depends upon the nature of the job. So some jobs they conduct so many rounds of tests. They assess each and everything at different stages, and it all depends upon the nature of the job they conduct these steps. And the other one is fourth step is doing a background investigation. So after all these hurdles are crossed, all these tests are crossed, got through, then they check the background of the successful candidates in the tests, because one should be personally good. Any criminal history, any such kind of allegations against the behavioral problems. So they immediately call the college and institution where the candidate has completed his degree and investigate about the behavior and conduct of the candidate. Then next one is socialization. So socialization, because here this cooperation, coordination, and relationships to maintain, these are very important for any individual who would like to work for organization, because they work in groups. They don't give the work on isolation. So this socialization is very important, just to see whether the job seeker, the candidate who has got through all these steps, can mingle with other people and go with all, can work in group or work with the team effectively. All this will be checked, the socialization. Then the deciding to hire or not to hire. So after checking all these things, so they decide to hire or not to hire. So this is the process of selection. Selection process involves all these 6 steps. So recruitment and selection go together. Though we normally call recruitment, and we most of the time we don't say selection. So we usually refer recruitment like that. So we have seen what recruitment is. Only finding and attracting capable applicants for employment is called recruitment. So the process begins with when new recruits are sought and ends when their applications are submitted. So the result is a pool of applicants from which new employees are selected. So recruitment is the process of finding and attracting capable applicants for employment. The process begins when new recruits are sought and ends when their applications are submitted. So till this point is recruitment. They find, attract through advertisement or creating awareness about the company through demonstrations, telling about the company and all, and motivates the job seekers to apply for the job, employment. So this process begins when new recruits are sought and ends when their applications are submitted. That is recruitment. So result here is a pool of applicants from which new employees are selected. So selection is the process of differentiating between applicants in order to identify and hire those with a greater likelihood of success in a job. So here recruitment is till they get the applications from the job seekers is recruitment. So they find, attract and motivate, encourages the people to apply for the jobs in the organization, and they receive all those applications. When job seekers submit the applications, your recruitment activity ends. Then selection starts. So all those applications received from prospective job seekers or employees will be screened, will be verified. So process of differentiating between applicants in order to identify and hire those with a greater likelihood of success in job. This is selection. Now you can see the difference between recruitment and selection. To attract maximum number of candidates. Not taking, it is just attracting maximum number of candidates. Whereas selection is to choose best out of the available candidates. Here we are selecting only few out of this maximum number. That is selection. It creates application pool as large as possible. We don't restrict here. We allow everyone to apply for the job. Creating application pool as large as possible. Where in the selection it is a rejection process. Here it is induction process. We are accepting whoever applies. In the selection, we go reverse. We screen. So rejection process where few are selected. Techniques are not very intensive here. Where in selection, highly specialized techniques are required. That testing doesn't start at this point of recruitment because only it's receiving the applications from the job seekers. Where out of the applications received, we need to select. So we screen out all the applications and we call the screened applicants and test them. Highly specialized techniques are required. Here, outcome is application who pool. Whereas outcome is the candidate is offered job. So these are the differences between recruitment and selection. Process here. What is the process of recruitment and what is the selection process? So your recruitment starts with the advertisement, employment agencies, and approaching all these sources of manpower. On-campus recruitment, deputation, employee recommendations, labor unions, gate hiring, all these. Gate hiring, whoever comes to the factory gate will be taken like that. Not taken, we accept the application. Even you go to any industry, any company and submit the application. That is gate hiring. They don't reject. Whoever goes to their office and gives the application, they accept that and keep it in. They maintain that file. Whenever they need, they call them. Selection is opposite that. Screening of applications, selection tests, interview, checking of references, physical examination, approval by authority, placement. This is the process of recruitment and selection. Then the other phase of this staffing is the training and development. We have seen recruitment, selection, then training and development. So training, what is training? It is a short-term process utilizing a systematic and organized procedure by which non-managerial personnel learn technical knowledge and skills for a definite purpose. So here in the training, the content is very important. So here an employee is prepared for doing the job. Through this recruitment and selection, the employee may have that knowledge, but how to perform that job will be given in this training program. A systematic way of what micro issues involved, how to do that, how to start the, doing the job. All those knowledge and skills will be given in this training. Development, it's a long-term educational process. It's a short-term. Development is a long-term educational process. We are utilizing a systematic and organized procedure by which managerial personnel learn conceptual and theoretical knowledge for general purpose. So training is for workers, usually we say, where development is for supervisors, managerial positions. Same thing will be done here also. But the content of this training would be different from that of content of the development program. When you are training the people at higher positions, definitely they will be given conceptual knowledge. So more focus would be on concepts and theoretical knowledge for general purpose. Here it is a specific one because all these employees are at operational level. They will be given the specific technical skill. It is a general one. So this is the difference between training and development. This is the third step of staffing. So why is so important? Training and development is so important in the organization. Obviously, it is to increase the efficiency of the employees because here the specific knowledge and skills will be enhanced. And here employees are prepared for doing the job systematically and effectively and efficiently. So training and development definitely helps increase the efficiency of the employees. Increase in morale of employees. See, when you learn, when employees learn, develops their skills and knowledge, definitely their morale will increase. They get so much of confidence. because they are empowered through training and development. And better human relations. All these things will be taught in the training and development programs. So they develop a kind of loyalty, that respect towards the organization, because they are trained in many things. Better human relations. Reduced supervision, because they are empowered, they can do on their own without waiting for instructions from the superiors. So supervision will be reduced. You don't need somebody to monitor you. So because you are given training and development, you know how to do the job. So training and development reduces supervision. Then increased organizational viability and flexibility. So viable and flexible in the sense, when the employees are skilled and knowledge, and they are empowered and they can do on their own. So then it is viable, organizational viability. And they are flexible also. So knowledgeable people will be flexible and they are viable for to do anything. Now to conclude this staffing, you have seen that what is recruitment, selection, training and development. These are the three important steps in the staffing function. So staffing is the most vital asset with an organization, without which it cannot move ahead in the competitive world. So it is obviously, everybody knows that, without manpower, without people, no organization move no, forward even an inch. So that is clear. So staffing is very important, most vital in the organization context. So it can be equated with HR management, as both have same sort of objectives. See here, staffing is one of the function of human resource management. Now we are equating staffing itself, we are equating staffing with a human resource management. So now you can see the significance and the place of staffing in human resource management, because objectives are same. The objective of staffing or objectives of HRM are the same, more or less. So staffing is an open system approach. It is carried out within the enterprise, but is also linked to external environment. So staffing internal as well as external. We have seen in the previous discussion that sources are the ways we recruit, select the people within the organization through promotions or through transfers, like that. Our former employees will be taken, all these things are deputations. So like that, so staffing is carried out within the enterprise, but is also linked to external environment. So this is a concluding remark of about staffing. So we stop with this.